Phylogenetic analysis is related to study of evolution which occurs across the species with the passage of time. There are two concepts which are related to phylogenetic analysis. Number one is evolution, which is basically rate of change which occurs across species, and the other one is hereditary information, which basically remains constant or conservative information across species. So why this change occur? There are three major factors. Number one factor is basically interaction with the environment, such as there is some disease in the common area, or there are some accidents which change interaction between species. The other one is sexual reproduction of species, where one information comes from one parent and the other one from the second parent, and there is change in the offspring. And the third one is because of DNA mutations, which can be because of natural selection, where there is positive selection or negative selection. So basically, evolution information is more concerned towards phylogenetic analysis. So what we try to do during phylogenetic analysis is basically we want to find out in evolutionary relationship, which gives us interrelationship between different species. This phylogenetic analysis is basically done based on phylogenetic trees, where we have information in the form of hierarchies. So hierarchy means we have ancestors and then predecessors and then leaf nodes. So there is another name for this phylogenetic analysis that is called cladistics. Cladistics is based on the word clade, which means group of similar organisms. Here I have given an example of cladistics example with the help of predicates. So what is that predicate? Predicate is basically combination of two things with their interaction. So for example, here I have shown that we have frog and human, which are inner parts, and then we have fly and corn. So they are all on the same clade, but human and frog are more near to each other, then fly and then corn. And this information I have shown in figure A as a simple tree where there are no weights. But in the B part, or rather C part, I have shown a relationship between different species with the help of weights. So weights are basically, if you see that root is at 1, then we have human at 9 and frog at 8. So what are different assumptions which are necessary for cladistics or phylogenetic analysis? Basically, there are four things. Number one is that all the organisms within one clade, they will share common properties, and they will be from the common ancestor. The third one is that these features will be unique from other clades. And finally, changes in characteristics within one clade, they occur with at lineage time. Lineage time means that they will be same in constant time in the same line. Here I have given an example here to again explain some more concepts related to cladistics. So one common concept was clade, which is shown here as a group, which is this complete cycle. This is a clade. Okay, individual elements within a clade are called taxons, so which are basically also called leaves. So these four are different taxons which are leaves also for this clade tree. Then what happened? We have a root node, which is basically common ancestor for all the remaining things. And then we have internal vertices. Internal vertices are basically hypothetical parents of downward nodes. So for example, here I have shown this thing, which is basically ancestor taxon or internal vertex, which is the father or parent of remaining nodes which are downstairs. Okay, these things are in the same group or same clade. Then there are other things such as this sponge and sea urchin, which are in the part of out group, which are shown in this figure like this. Okay, so what is branch length? Branch length means what is basically length of this branch which started from one species to other species. That gives us edge weight also. So this edge weight, basically if I put some weight here like 1, 2 or 3, it will give us total time for the starting of one species to the other species. Okay, here I have given only a figure for tree representation. As we all know that for a tree, because it is a hierarchical information, there should be one root node which is ancestor for all the other nodes, which is shown as a root here. Then we have branch. Branch is basically an edge which connects two nodes. Then we have internal node, which is between node and root node and their leaf nodes. And finally we have terminal nodes or leaf nodes, which are basically organisms which are living at current times. Again, tree representation, there are two parts. One is fully resolved tree and the other one is partially resolved tree. So If we have two species which are from the common ancestor, then we say that this is a fully resolved tree. So if we see this figure, what happens is that we have these two things which are from the same node which is shown here. So what happens, this is a fully resolved tree. On the other hand, for partially resolved tree, we can have more than two children from one ancestor. So this is shown here, this is one ancestor and there are more than two child nodes. Okay, there are again two types for monophyletic and paraphyletic trees. So one, what is monophyletic? Mono means one, so monophyletic means that which are from the one clade, so from similar group, and paraphyletic which are from different groups. Based on these definitions, we come across now a very common definitions which are for phylogenetic analysis. Though those are number one homology and the other one is homoplasy. So for homology, we say that these are the traits or species which are inherited from a common parent or from a common ancestor. Such as example shown here is that we have fish, frog, lizard, cat and chimpanzee, and we say that these are from the common ancestor, but there are modifications also. For example, for when we go from fish to lungs, we say that we have added or we have an addition of lungs there. Then we have for lizard we have information or change of claws there. Then we when we go towards cats, then we have fur information for their skin also. Similarly, if I go to the last thing, that is homoplasy. Homoplasy is basically similar traits, but they are not from the common ancestor. For example, in this slide, we have given an example of red vultures, red-headed vultures, which are basically old vultures, so which are not existing now. And the other one is turkey vulture, the new vultures also. So both of them are vultures, but they are not from the common ancestor, and their current scenario at the present time they differentiate from each other.